Woo! Sup, home slices. Let's talk about fake stories today. Fake stories. What are fakes? Oh, fucking ant. Fake stories are stories that you tell yourself that are fake. Whoa. What do I mean by that? So what I'm saying, let's use an example. I love this. So a big one. So this, I'm going to tell you this because it's very relatable. It's not health and fitness related per se, but how's this? All men are untrustworthy. Now that is a fake story. And I know some people, as I say that, are like, fuck you, you don't even know. You don't even know what I've been through. But here's the thing. Everybody knows, or almost everybody knows, or should know, or has heard of examples where they have dealt with, or they have friends and family who are in relationships with men who are extremely trustworthy. There are always these extremes, or these fake stories are always irrational. They're always irrational. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're thinking it or feeling it. So all men are untrustworthy. Now, I'm sure you could list off numerous examples of how you've experienced men, or even women if you're a guy, or thinking of it in the other way, all women are untrustworthy. You know for a fact that there are guys or girls out there who are trustworthy. But due to your experience, due to your upbringing even, due to your early childhood experiences maybe with the opposite gender or a parent, you have come to believe that it's just easier to think that men or women are untrustworthy. Now, there's many different problems with this, because A, it's irrational and not real. It's not true. It's not a real thing. But B, when you start to think this way, when you think, for example, that all men are untrustworthy, you're going to look for cases and situations and behaviors that confirm your fake story. So there's such a thing called the confirmation bias. It's a thing that humans naturally do. It's where any beliefs that you have, you're constantly seeking out confirmation. You're constantly seeking out that validation that how you think is true, and you actively ignore anything that tells you otherwise. So if you believe that all men are untrustworthy, you will see these trustworthy men, but you will think that they're exceptions, that they're not true, that it's a rare occurrence, that it's not actually, or that it's not real. Whereas that's not the case. So where does this apply for health and fitness? So yeah, where does this apply for health and fitness? So an example is, if you think that you, for example, if you've always been a big person and you think, I've always been a big person and I always will be, that is a fake story. That is going to pretty much confirm your reality. If you think that you'll always be a big person, any actions that you take to change that, you don't truly believe are going to work, you know? And this might even be subtle. You might not actually understand or consciously be thinking this, but you have a subconscious belief due to your upbringing, due to your experience, that you believe you will never get to a weight that you want to be at, or a look that you want to be at. So I want you, and another example actually is I'm a food person. I just love food. You know, I love food, therefore I will always be overweight. That is a fake story. There are numerous, like fucking so many examples of people who love food and experiment in the kitchen. And I'm thinking of a few people off the top of my head at the gym who I saw the other day. They love food, they love cooking. They'll occasionally eat stuff like homemade oven-fired pizza and stuff like this because they like playing around with food. And they are fit people. They are healthy people. This is a fake story that you have created that pretty much confirms that you will never lose weight because you believe you can't because of a fake story. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about these fake stories that are coming up in your life. And you may not actually be aware of them right now, but start to become aware of where these fake stories appear. And usually one way to know it's a fake story is it's very extreme. Like it's an all or nothing, black or white. Like I will never be, like all men are untrustworthy. Example, that's a complete extreme. Like any extreme is probably not true. And B, it usually has a very emotional charge to it. It's something that often protects how you feel about yourself or about where you want to go. So for example, if someone feels like I've been big all my life and I will forever be big, that allows them a safety net to be okay with never pushing outside of their comfort zone and maybe never pushing towards a body that they fear that they might be able to achieve or might not through fear of failure. So have a think about that. Start to become aware of these fake stories that come up in your life and where they might be holding you back and where you can flip it. I want you to actively, consciously make a change in your head to flip that story. So an example would be, if all men are untrustworthy, it might be, there are absolutely some men that are trustworthy. It's definitely not, and that's the same with the all men are trustworthy. Like not all people are trustworthy, but most people are. Most people are trustworthy. Most men are trustworthy. That'd be a way to flip it, because that's real. That is actually real. So have a think about these fake stories, guys. Actually comment below. What are some fake stories that you can think of now off the top of your head that I've talked about this? And let me know how you're going to change it. What's the story that you're going to create for yourself now that you're going to actively change? Because when you change that, you're going to start seeing things that confirm how you think. Based on that confirmation bias, use it in your favor. So when you start to believe that most men are trustworthy, you're going to start to see it. You're going to actually start to see it instead of ignoring it like you had been in the past. Give that a go, guys. Let me know how you go. Peace. Love you all. Happy New Year!